not being specific about this.
Yeah, last year they were really. They're like, oh, I stay at 9 a.m.
Yeah, there's no one here. Where is that?
Everyone's at the Applied exam.
Oh, no.
Nobody was here debating or something.
Or they're graduated.
Ben.
Yep.
Yep, seniors are done.
Oh,
So
the
true.
real effort.
This is so
Did you see Meredith?
Mary's kind of
I'm not that
straight
funny.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
No.
What?
The milk upper
No,
team.
got working.
But, oh my god, it was also pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I mean, it was good, but it was not fun.
Mike is trying to kill me today. It's great.
Maybe it's because of the way you sat during lunch.
No, I don't think so.
Legs aren't supposed to bend that way.
I lay like that often.
That's the
It's
concern.
normal.
It's not.
I think we need, I think one more person may be here, so I'm gonna wait a minute.
Who?
One more, Jeff. He's not marked as school business, at least.
I thought it was Apple.
I would think he would be too, but everybody else is marked school business or is a senior, so,
Alright.
and his is not.
Wait, Mark, did you say Catholic?
No, I'm not doing that. Thanks.
Then you're gonna have to do it all.
It's college me worries.
You're still in happiness for the future stuff.
I'll
You should
read.
just take comp 1 and 2.
Oh, no, thank you.
It's so.
Yeah, it was like Comp 2s.
I don't want to do
I don't
it.
I'm
want,
gonna
I'm not
take-
taking AP Lit.
I'm going to have to take AP Lit to go
Why?
out because I'm out of state. They won't take MLAC.
Oh.
It's the same.
Or you could just take.
Yeah, you're right.
I could just take it
You're
in
not.
college too.
I'm planning
That would get done.
I'm still planning on taking some current classes because it's not necessarily that they won't take
I mean,
MLAT, especially
I'm
if you
saying-
have your syllabi.
I'm saying I wanna go out of state, but I think
You'll
I'm
still
too
be
young
able
to
to.
leave at this point, so.
You make a big difference. They won't stop you.
And even if I do get into university or college, there's no way in hell I'm gonna get into scholarships to.
That's what I'm trying for. I'm trying for get scholarships to go to one of like 6 different schools in New York. 'Cause
New
they've-
York?
Yeah, they've got really good theater programs in New York.
There he is.
Oh, he is here. You're not taking Apple?
Good. I'm
I
never
took,
taking.
I took comp.
Oh, I remember. Stop driving
Okay, so I don't have much for you guys. Well, we don't do much after the AP exam in general, but there is the after AP exam survey that I'd like you to do. It is very quick. Most of the questions are optional anyway. So I'd like you to just go ahead and get that done today, but I will ask students to do it on Thursday that are not here today. All of our APLAC students are school business. So if you guys would go ahead and just get that.
Like one more assignment for the rest of the year, or something like that.
There'll be a couple more grades, but it's nothing to be worried about, so. But today, we're certainly not going to move on to anything because we've got so many people out. So if you do that survey, the short information that I know about the AP exam, so obviously I'm not like allowed to see it or see your work or anything like that. But most years, they do release the FRQs. Most years they don't release the multiple choice. So I would suspect that this year they probably will release the FRQs, and it takes a few days. So probably this time next week on the internet they will be available. So when I see them, I will grab a copy because I'd like to work them as well, and I will share them with you if you are interested in looking at them again, especially without the time constraints of the real AP exam. But even though they often release those FRQs fairly early, in case you want to look at them again, they do not release the scoring behind them until like July when the scores come out. So you might remember, hey, I did this part right and I did this part right, but you're not going to know how many points they're going to assign to that. So I don't know how helpful that really is. Again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know anything about that, but I'm guessing y'all had something about milk.
Yeah, I didn't like that question.
Oh yeah, it was not fun at all.
I told y'all every year there's something. There was the potato problem, the banana problem.
There was a lot of L'Hopital on the multiple choice.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going through and there were like 4 or 5 L'Hopital. I was like, what?
Whoa, that's a lot more than I would expected. Well, y'all will be the year of milk, so.
Such a weird.
Are they like the same topics in AB and BC, or are they like completely different exams?
Some of them are the same. Some of the FRQs that you guys did were the exact same ones that BC students did. So also, I guess I should have said this in my last period class, but remember, if you signed up for BC next year, when you take the BC test, you get 2 scores. You get an AB subscore and then a BC subscore. So like the students who did the BC exam, when y'all were doing the AP exam, the questions that they did that were the same as y'all's, they get a score for that. And then their BC material, they get a separate score. Why that's important to y'all is if you end up not passing the AB exam, when you take the BC exam this time next year, you get a chance to earn that score. You could pass both tests just on the BC exam. So,
You know a lot of the BC curriculum?
do I know a lot of it?
Yeah.
At one point, but I've never taught BC, so
Do you know about,
I would
a lot
not-
of people talking about like the Lagrange stuff?
it's familiar, but I don't remember what it is.
My sister figured out the coordinates.
About what?
Pulled the coordinates.
Polar? Polar's not too bad.
That's what she was reading. She also did it over COVID. So.
Polar is like when you graph. Well, I can show you what polar looks like. I'll give you a 30-second example. We used to teach this in pre-calculus, but since it's a topic that most students don't get to until BC, and then you kind of have to relearn it. Now, they do calculus topics with it, like area between two curve and volumes and stuff. But you know when you go to your calculator and you graph something that's y equals, like this? Well, if you go to mode, that's because it's in function mode. But if you go over to polar mode, let me put this in radians. If you go to polar mode, you don't graph y equals, you graph r equals. So if you graph like r equals 3, it's going to graph a circle with radius 3. If you start throwing like trig functions there, some different stuff can happen. Like the fact that that's on the y-axis and this is on the x-axis is stuff that you'll have to know with polar. But then if you change the coefficient of theta,
Oh my god.
Chris.
So cool.
Time to play with that.
So if it's a 3 theta, you get 3 petals. If it's 5 theta, 5 petals.
What if it's like an outrageously large number?
Like,
Sure. Oh.
That one's funny.
actually, I'm surprised that's all I graphed. I figured it would have kind of filled it all in, but I guess it just keeps hitting the same stuff.
Oh, I guess.
All right, so how many petals do you think it's going to be if I put a 2 here? 3 was 3 petals, 5
It
was...
was 4 petals.
So there's like these rules that you have to learn. If it's an odd number, it's how many petals you get. If it's an even number, you get twice that many petals. So in BC, I think what you do is you like try to find the area of one of those petals. Like you just do area of top minus bottom like we did. You get the area of one petal and then you have to know like how many petals there would be and multiply it by that, or and you get the area of the whole thing. That's what polar tends to be. But it's pretty easy to play with and kind of interesting, and there's some other stuff you can do too. It's just been so long since I taught it.
I would want to send it to like
I did see in my calculus Facebook group, one of the big topics in BC is called Taylor polynomials. And some teacher posted that she only gave her student permission to go to the Taylor Swift concert if she did a Taylor polynomial while she was at it. So there's this video of her like at the concert like working out a Taylor polynomial question, and she uploaded it for everyone to see. So anyway, so I think that's all I've got. Again, on Thursday, we should be able to, again, nothing to worry about, but we'll be able to do a little bit on Thursday. When the FRQs are released, assuming they're released, I will let you know in case you want to go and glance at those again. I assume you all had 6 FRQs.
Yep.
Somebody in my last period insisted that they had 8.
Was?
2 calculator and 6 no calculator. So
No, that is false.
that's what she said.